You wake up on a Monday morning with a pep in your step because you know you get to do the work you were born to do, the work that fills your cup, lights your fire, and brings you so much joy. This is your life's work. I'm Whitney Copeland, Human Design and Gene Keys Guide, and in this video, we're going to deep dive into your Gene Keys life's work. This is a strong indicator of the arena that you are born to work in and where you can use your natural gifts and talents to be of service, creating impact, as well as prosperity and fulfillment in your own life. The Gene Keys transmission, brought to us by Richard Rudd, is designed to help you unlock your full potential. The main idea of the Gene Keys is that the code to your higher purpose lies locked within the actual coils of your DNA. And the way to unlock that code is to contemplate your Gene Keys profile. Your profile is based on your date, time, and place of birth and is completely unique to you. It helps you identify your zone of genius, your purpose, and the work that you came to this world to do. When you first come into the work of the Gene Keys, it's recommended to begin with the activation sequence, which is exactly what we're going to do in this video as we explore the sphere of your life's work, which is the very first sphere in the activation sequence. So grab your free chart in the description below and let's get started. We'll start by getting acquainted with your actual profile. When you look at it, you're going to see many different things going on, which can look a little bit overwhelming, but I assure you, we're going to walk through it step by step in very simple language. So the first thing we're going to look at are the spheres. The circles on your chart are called spheres, and you can think of these spheres as an area of life where you're learning about yourself. The spheres are laid out the same on everybody's chart, and your chart becomes more nuanced as we start to look into the gene keys and the lines. In each sphere, you have a gene key, and that gene key is your teacher. It's something that you are meant to learn from in this lifetime. And the gene key that shows up for you is based on the planetary alignment at the time of your birth. And if you don't know your exact birth time, you can pull a couple of charts throughout the day to see if anything changes on your chart, or you can explore working with me in the description below. Beside your gene key, you'll have a decimal point and a number. This is referred to as your line. There are 6 lines, and if you're familiar with human design, the lines in your activation sequence actually correspond to the profile lines in your human design body graph chart. The lines are essentially an archetype. It's a way that this gene key is going to express for you specific tendencies, specific roles, and it's going to make the gene key in your sphere more nuanced to you as an individual. Be sure to stick around to the end because I will be covering the lines, which give you a deeper insight into your gene key and how you are designed to express it in the world. Each sphere on your chart is connected by a pathway, and each pathway represents a leap in awareness that propels you forward on your journey. And although it appears that this journey is a one and done process, the truth is this is playing out in your life over and over again as you grow and mature in this lifetime. You may consciously explore this a few times throughout your life and have different realizations and epiphanies, but even if you take a step back from doing the work, it's all still happening whether you are aware of it or not. Each time you deliberately explore your gene keys profile, you're certain to have new realizations and epiphanies. If you're willing to put in the work, the breakthroughs that you will experience will be well worth the effort. They have the potential to change your life. Exploring your life's work will help you in 3 predominant ways in your business. It will help you clarify the work that you were born to do. So not just any old work, not just work that makes sense or fills a gap in the marketplace, but the work that literally lights you up and feels so amazing to do on a daily basis because you get to create impact doing not only what comes naturally, but what you are so talented at that you make a difference in this world. No matter where you are on your entrepreneurial journey, exploring this will help you step more deeply into the precise work that you're born to do, your legacy work, the work that comes naturally and helps you make the biggest impact that you can in this short and precious life. It will also give you insight into the how. How are you designed to bring this work into the world? What is going to be the most efficient, enjoyable, peaceful, and yet impactful way that you can do the work that you were born to do? Once you're aware of the work that you came here to do and how to go about bringing that into the world, you can then align everything in your business to be an authentic representation of who you are, what you value, and how you want to live your life. So this is about aligning your offers and services, your branding and positioning, your marketing and sales, your delivery and fulfillment, so that every aspect of your business is in alignment with who you are. And ultimately, this leads to contribution, getting to make your impact in the most enjoyable and fulfilling way, so that your business complements your life and leads to a deep sense of peace, satisfaction, and success. Your life's work is where your deeper purpose meets the outside world. It's a role that suits you really well, an area of work that lights you up and allows you to express yourself authentically and creatively while making an impact and being of service. When you download your free chart on the Gene Keys website, you'll also get access to a free audio file where you'll get to listen to Gene Keys founder, Richard Rudd, talk about your life's work sphere in his words. And this is a really valuable way to get to know your Gene Key on a deeper level. Of course, you can continue to explore this on your own through the Gene Keys books and online courses, which I will link in the description below. Your life's work in the Gene Keys is your conscious sun gate in human design, which represents 70% of your energetic expression. Your sun gate is the most predominant gate in your human design incarnation cross, which describes the role that you came here to do and the theme of your life. So if you want to take this work a step further, you can also explore those areas of your human design. I'm going to walk you through an example of my life's work so that you can come to understand how this plays out in real life. Each gene key on your chart contains a shadow, a gift, and a siddhi. The shadow is your default way of showing up. It's how you show up when you're in victim mentality. And until you bring awareness to this area, you can get stuck in specific patterns in your life that keep you where you are. In the sphere of your life's work, when you live in your shadow energy, it prevents you from recognizing and stepping into the work that you were born to do. The gene key that shows up in my sphere of life's work is 7, and it moves from division to virtue through the gift of guidance. Division is about hierarchy. And if I were to look at that from the perspective of my work, it would look like me being higher than somebody else, thinking I am better than somebody else, being higher up in the coaching relationship, rather than seeing myself as an equivalent with my client and believing that my client has everything that they need to move their life forward without me. That I am simply here to be a guide and a sounding board, and that all of their answers will actually come from within them, from their own intuition, their own inner knowing. Every shadow has a repressive and a reactive nature. The repressive side of division would look like me fearing that whole situation and not wanting to show up in my leadership in fear of misguiding somebody and saying something wrong. And so then I would step into that repressive version by hiding. And the consequence of that would be that nobody would get to learn from my experience and expertise. So when you look at the shadow in your own sphere of life's work, ask yourself, where is this showing up in my life right now? And how is this preventing me from fully stepping into the role that I came here to play? Living in your gift energy means showing up intentionally from a place of empowerment. And when you do this, it allows you to recognize and step into the work that you were born to do. The gift that shows up here for me is guidance, which I mentioned is helping people find their own way forward without an agenda. Showing up, listening with compassion, being a sounding board and helping people move in the direction that they feel called to go. I help my clients get in touch with their truth, their desires, and their best next steps. This is what I do in my readings and my coaching services. But I do want to mention that I didn't always know that this is what I was born to do. In fact, this is my second business. The first business I started was health coaching people with autoimmune health conditions, helping them transition their diets and their lifestyle in order to live with less symptoms. And I did that for about 2.5 years before hitting a wall where I recognized that isn't exactly what I wanted to do. But when I do look back on that business, I was still carrying out my life's work. I was guiding people. I was helping people find their own way. It just wasn't in an area that I felt passionate enough about to do for a really long period of time. So if you find yourself in a place where you feel somewhat in alignment with your life's work, but something is off, it might come down to your passions, your interest, and the thing that you want to spend your time studying, learning, talking about, and doing out in the real world. So all of your life experience up until this point will make sense when you start to plug it in to your gene keys. It's essentially your hero's journey. Everything that you have done in the past has led you here. And now it's about getting radically honest with yourself about, am I doing the work that I feel called to do in the way that I feel called to do it? And am I serving my own creativity, my own passions in my work? When I first came into health coaching, I thought it was the perfect opportunity because it was a really important issue that I was helping people with, and it was making impact. And there were a lot of people out in the world with the problem. So there was definitely a need in the market, but it just wasn't lighting my fire, and it wasn't the thing that I wanted to do forever. So I knew I needed to pivot. I also want to mention that just upon reading about your gene keys for the first time, the answers may not come. The words that show up on your chart for each of your gene keys aren't meant to be understood solely intellectually. And you may find that when you first come to this work and read about these words, these shadows, these gifts and siddhis that show up in your chart, they may not immediately resonate, and you may not immediately have answers. What I find is it takes some time to percolate, and epiphanies and realizations happen when I'm out living my life, when I'm walking to pick my kids up from school, or exercising, or taking a shower, or having a conversation with a friend or my husband. I'll catch myself saying something, and suddenly the dots will connect. So I want to encourage you to stick around with this work. And if you do commit to it, you will, and I mean you really will, have these realizations at some point. If you do find yourself feeling overwhelmed or confused and craving support, you can learn how to work with me in the description below. And finally, we have the Siddhi. So the Siddhi is the highest expression of you. When you no longer have an individual identity and you completely let go of ego and you live as pure consciousness, you are living in the Siddhic state. And as humans, most of us don't live in this state all too often. But when you commit to showing up authentically in your life, doing the work that lights you up, and being yourself, you will experience glimpses of this throughout your life. So let's get into exploring the lines. In your life's work, your line represents how you are designed to carry out your work. It's your most natural expression of your strengths and your most impactful way to show up and be of service. The line of your life's work matches up to the conscious line in your human design profile. As you discover the work that you came here to do and begin to take steps toward it, difficulties are likely to arise. And these difficulties are represented by the pathway of challenge in the gene keys, which connects your life's work to your evolution. Your evolution is your greatest challenge. It's the thing that prevents you from fully stepping into your life's work. And we will explore that in the next video. So be sure to stay tuned, because without that understanding and being able to shift from your shadow into your gift energy, you won't be able to fully step into and embrace your life's work. The line characteristics that we're about to cover will help you understand what some of your challenges might be and how you can overcome them based on your specific line. Line 1 is here to create something new, to bring an idea to life, to be original, and to express yourself through creation. This requires patience and courage, because it often takes time to discover what you actually are here to create. And then once you create it, it takes a lot of courage to release it into the world, to show up, to be seen, and to bring something new that may get flack or judgment from the outside world. If you're aligned to in your life's work, you're here to express your natural gifts, follow your passion, and do what you love. This requires you to recognize your gifts, which might come so easily or seem so second nature to you that they're hard to identify. And you also, once recognizing your gifts, must see them as valuable. So as a line 2, you'll have to overcome your fear of being seen and charging for your services. If you're line 3, you're here to use your life experience to create positive change. You may play many different roles in your lifetime, and that is totally normal and totally perfect for you. It will require letting go of expectations, being adaptable, and accepting your dynamic nature, which other people might find chaotic or unacceptable. Line 4s are here to be of service and positively influence others. This requires listening to the needs of others so that you can identify what they need help with and how you can use your gifts to create that positive impact. Line 4s are naturally very influential, so be sure to use your gift with integrity. If you're a line 5, you're here to bring forth practical solutions and make things work better. Your leadership qualities make it possible for you to create positive change in any area that interests you. But this will require discerning and being choosy about where to focus your attention. It will also involve honing your communication skills. And line 6, you are here to bring wisdom to the world. This comes from experience and contemplation throughout life. You'll need to be patient because it will likely take some time to clarify your dream, distill your wisdom, and then impart that wisdom in a way that fulfills you. Here are a few questions to ask yourself. Are you currently aligned with your life's work? Do you feel compelled to make a change, pivot, or improvement? What has your inner voice been telling you? And what is getting in the way of moving forward? What are your current challenges? Take some time, explore your chart, read about your gene key in the sphere of life's work, ask yourself these questions, and I will see you in the next video where we talk about your evolution, how to overcome the biggest challenge that's keeping you from stepping into your life's work. If you love this video, go ahead and subscribe. On this channel, I cover all things gene keys and how it applies to business and entrepreneurship. If you would like further support or guidance with this work, you'll find the links to the Gene Keys resources in the description below, and you'll also find the links for how to work with me. Until next time, sending so much love.